Hey everybody, just a little notice. I have the second half of the Penacony playthrough in Honkai Star Rail up. It's on the VODs Unlisted, the live stream archives unlisted playlist. You can go check that out if you want to watch it. I'm sorry I wasn't able to live stream it, but I had to cut it in between bits and bobs today. But it is there if you want to see the second half, you can, or you watch the first, it's up to you. But we just had a Hero Rises info drop for Heroes. What does it mean? I don't know. Full results are coming on the 25th, which is a far cry away. But we did get top 20? Top 20. We got top 20. That's fine. The top 8 is really all that matters. And I'm assuming that the top 20 looks very similar. And so I have a bracket laid out for you. We'll be able to take a look at that, and I can give my projections on what that looks like. So far, top 8 is Winter Edelgard, Legendary Camilla, Legendary Alir, Mythic Golvig, Winter Dimitri, Ninja Soniki, and Wind Tribe Claude with a tuned peony pulling up from behind, I guess, for 8th. So that is your bracket outlined in gold here, right? But Altina was close. That's a little bit heartbreaking for me. Quite literally 30 votes off. That is a huge bummer for me. Winter Byleth not making it in. That's a little bit curious. I don't think the bottom 10 is like that surprising to me. I don't think, actually, Anna not placing higher is a little surprising, and Lucina not placing higher is a little surprising. Igren, I feel like there was potential there, but I mean, nothing about Desert Igren outside of the fact she's a good AoE nuke really like rings true in my brain just off the top of my head. Summer Ivy, kind of glad she's not there. Not that I don't like her or that the unit is bad. It's just comparatively feels a little bit weaker compared to some of the other options. Summer Fjorm not being there is also a little surprising because she's pretty good in general. Legendary Lincia would have been a good pick, I think, personally. I happen to find that a lot of the Mythic and Legendary heroes in general are really good picks just because they're helpful for game modes, specifically. But I mean, that's kind of a minor factor, honestly. I would give them the edge in that aspect, but Yunaka, Sather, all decent choices. Honestly, all decent choices. I don't think that's the top 8 that I would have picked personally. I probably would have put Altina and Byleth in here instead of like Claude and Dimitri. But that's just me. That's just me where I'm coming from. So this is what your top 8 looks like. That's the top 20. Again, not really any bad picks. Do we even have any normal picks for the top 20? I don't think we did. We didn't, right? These are all limited. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, these are all limited. Wow. Great job, everyone. You actually got some good stuff in there. So here's what's going on. All right. In the past, what they've done is they've pitted top against bottom. So 1 is going to be against 8. 2 is going to be against 7. 3 is going to be against 6. And then 4 would be against 5th place. Okay, does that make sense? So they're kind of like, they're averaging the sums almost. So if you have no idea what that means, I did it for you. Welcome. This is actually, I had this voting gauntlet from last year. And here we are. I have it overlaid this time around specifically, though. So, what we have going on, okay, is this is your top 8. This is what your top 8 is going to look like. First is against 8th. you know, and so on and so forth. It's kind of funny because Edelgard was in first place last year, and she went up against another Heroes character by the name of Veronica, if you happen to recall that. There's a very similar situation brewing this year as well, where Edelgard is now up against another Heroes favorite in the likes of Peony. I think that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I think there is potential for all green, yes, because I think Dimitri is still green. I think Edelgard is blue, if I'm not mistaken. I think these two are both green. Alir is green. So, for those of you who are out here up on some kind of high juice, you could still technically have a top 4 that's all green. Unfortunately, you're going to have to take out an Edelgard and a Golvig in the process. as well as Ninja Soniki, who I feel like has a bit of a cult following. Ideally for me, I think it probably would be all green. This one doesn't really matter, you know. I would take either. To be blunt, I would prefer Camilla, maybe. Claude has Prime, but I mean that's. I would have rather had Harmonized Anna, honestly, because I think she also had attack speed Prime, but that's neither here nor there. Doesn't matter. It's not what the top 8 is. I would very much prefer that Alir get in, and I know that's going to shock some of you. But looking at this, like, this merge and this merge are both high priority for me. So no matter what, the bottom left bracket is a win for me personally. I have no use of any more Golviks. I just don't. I don't. If you saw the videos, then you know. But this one doesn't really matter that much to me, personally. This one, I'm going to summon no matter what, so it doesn't matter. This one is very, like, what am I going to do versus no quarter. That's kind of nice. And then up here, I would much rather prefer Peony over Edelgard. Specifically because of all the skills I have fathered to the very few attuned Peonies that I have in hopes of duplicating them at some point in my life. Especially now with 5 skills. That's pretty great. I will say that the news coming out for Rearmed and Attuned Heroes, as well as the 5 skill inheritance thing now, especially for Attuned Heroes, where you can now get the Attuned skill and then 4 other passives. I'm genuinely kind of surprised that we didn't have more Attuned Heroes in the top 20. I mean, it's really just Lucina and Nino, and then Peony out of all top 20. Like, that's kind of crazy. That is maybe the most surprising thing from all of this for me. Now that I think about it, that's maybe the more surprising factor. So with that said, I would very much prefer this to happen. This one I don't really care. Okay, I'm gonna keep it the buck. That one I don't really care. This one, I think I'm leaning towards Alir. Now, in terms of what I think is gonna happen, okay, who I think will win, I think that probably Peony will beat Edelgard. Sorry, Edelgard fans. I think that Alir might beat Soniki. I don't think Dimitri's gonna beat Golvig. I really don't. I'm sorry, Green Dream. I don't think it's gonna happen for y'all. Go find a different cult to enact, I guess. I don't know. And I think probably Camilla would win it over Claude. I feel like Camilla's just a better pick in general, but I don't know. I know she has the terrain stuff going on, which I know is a Pokemon term. But you get what I'm saying. I feel like this is probably what your top 4 is going to look like. Because I feel like the anti-green gang being able to rally around a Golvig, there's a lot of nonsense that could go on for that. And I feel like people are probably going to do that. But we'll see. We'll see. This is what the bracket will look like. These are my predictions, not necessarily what I would prefer to happen. But the left side, I have, I guess, maybe more stake in? I don't know. This is really the only one that matters to me. None of the other ones really matter. Interesting. Well, it's a good thing I barely summoned on that Leon banner, huh? Because now I get to focus on this down the road. That's fun. Any orb saved is worth it in the year overall. But that's it. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, leave a like. That's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.